crumbles under his body like crumbled paper napkins. The specks of something from between his toes, or the biscuits from the day before ran in the limbs that tucked the sheets into his skin like an old frozen bundle of chicken. He'd see the spotlights in his alleyways, and he'd get under the covers and he'd wait for an all clear, or until he could hear traffic again. There wasn't nothing wrong with him. There wasn't nothing wrong with him. He just got into telling Crystal that any fool wanting to kill Vietnamese children wanted to stay home and raise their own children is sicker than a rabid dog. That's how that thing had been going since he got back. Crystal had just got into saying what a foolbo was and always been. Then he'd go all over uptown saying that the child wasn't his, with some no-counts bastards that any old city police could go by and get him if they wanted. Because as soon as the blood types and stuff got back, everybody would know that Crystal was a no-good lying whore. And this, after she'd been his girl since she was 13, when he caught her on the stairway. He came home crazy as hell. He tried to get veterans benefits to go back to school, but they kept right on putting him in remedial classes. Couldn't read worth a damn. So Bo accused the teachers of holding him back and bought himself a gypsy cab to drive. The cab kept breaking down. Cops was always messing with him, just not getting much break. And Crystal went right on and got pregnant again. Almost beat her to death when she told him. She still got a scar under her right tit where he cut her up. She still got a scar under her right tit where he cut her up. And Crystal went right on and had the baby anyway. Now Bo got 2 children. A little girl, Naomi King, and a boy, Tommy Bo Willie Brown. There was no end. How the hell did she get in this mess anyway? Somebody went and told Crystal that Bo was spending all his money on some bartending chick down at the merry-go-round cafe. Bo sat straight up in the bed, wrapped up in the sheets, looking like John the Baptist or a huge baby in stumbling nuts. See, Bo had to get all this mess out of Crystal's mind so she would let him come back home again. Because Crystal went and got a court order saying that Bo Willie Brown had no access to his children. And if he showed his face, he was subject to arrest. Crystal been in his butt to marry her since she was 14. And here she is, 22. And she wanted to marry him. And he wanted to marry her. Crystal said, no, what you want to marry me for now? So I can support you. Sit up there with you when they lock you behind up, because they're going to come for you. They're going to come and I ain't going to have nothing to do with it. Oh, no. I wouldn't marry your pitiful black self for nothing. She went to bed. Next day, Willie came in blasting and got to swinging chairs that Crystal couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. So Bo got to screaming again about how she was going to marry him and how he was going to get more veterans benefits to go back to school. And he can stop driving them crazy spics around while they're trying to kill him for $15. Bo was swinging terrible, beating on Crystal. He couldn't do no more with the table and chairs. So he went and got the high chair. And Kwame was in it, and he started beating on Crystal with the table and chairs. And some notion got into him to stop. He ran out. Crystal almost died. That's why the police wouldn't allow Bo where she lived. And Crystal had been telling the children that Bo tried to kill her and Kwame. So Bo sat in the hotel room in his drawers, drinking coffee and wine in the heat of the day, spilling stuff all over himself, laughing how he was going to get Crystal to take him back again, let him be the man of the house, and she wouldn't have to go to work no more. He got dressed up in his Irish shirt and checkered pants. He went over to Crystal's to get all his mess cleared up. He knocked on the door to Crystal's room. She didn't answer. He beat on the door to Crystal's room. And Crystal and Naomi started crying. And Bo got to shouting again about how she was going to marry him. And was she always going to be a whore? Did she want a real husband? Crystal just kept screaming and crying for him to leave us alone. Just leave us alone. So Bo knocked down the door. Crystal grabbed the children. She picked Kwame up off the floor and held Naomi by her shoulders and kept screaming for Bo to leave us alone. Just leave us alone. Do you want the children to see you act a fool again? You want Kwame to get brain damage from you throwing him around? Leave us alone. Bo reached for Naomi. Crystal grabbed the little girl and looked at Bo like he was a leper or something. Don't you touch my children! I'll kill you. Bo jumped back, all humble and apologetic. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt him. I just want to hold him and get on my way. I just want to marry him and give you things. What you want to give me? A broken jaw? Bo ignored Crystal's outburst and sat down and motioned for Naomi to come to him. She smiled at her daddy. Crystal felt Naomi giving in and held her tighter. Naomi pushed away and she ran to her daddy saying, Daddy, Daddy, come back, Daddy. But you gotta be nice to Mommy because Mommy loves you and you got to be nice. Bo sat down and he sat Naomi on his lap and played with her ribbons and counted fingers and toes. And every so often, he looked up at Crystal, holding Kwame. And he said, See, Crystal, I can be a good father. Let me hold my son. She didn't move. He oozed kindness into Crystal and coaxed her and coaxed her. Told her she was still a little hot old thing, pretty and strong. Then she'd get right up after that little fight they had and went back to work. He oozed kindness. And Crystal, who had known so little, let Bo hold Kwame. As soon as Crystal let the baby out of her arms, Bo jumped back, hooting and hollering, laughing and giggling. All right, you're gonna marry me. Oh, I ain't gonna marry you. I ain't never gonna marry you. You're gonna go to jail for this. You're gonna be under the jail for this. Now give me my kids. Give me back my kids. So Bo kicked the screen out of the window and he held the children over the sill. Say you're gonna marry me. Yeah, I'll marry you. I'll marry you anything, but bring the children back in the house. Bring them back. Bo looked over the sill at the children hanging from the 5th story. And he seen all of the neighbors screaming at him and he started sweating terrible again. Say to all the neighbors you're going to marry me. I stood by Bo in the window. Naomi reaching for me. And Kwame yelling, Mommy! Mommy! But I can only whisper. And he dropped